Okay, and now it's time for assembly. Put the canister to the side, mesh screen to the side. We've already put the rubber seal on. I'll do it again on the video so you see it. So you got this piece that we had cleaned out. This, it's ribbed, and the inside is ribbed of the seal. Go ahead, just kind of work its way around. It'll start clicking into place. Okay, that's done. Let's tackle some of the easy stuff here. Black gasket goes on the inside. Make sure you check the orientation. You're going to see that even, odd with spacing. That's going to go here. Let's do the red gasket on the outside. Now, the holes here for the outside flat portion, or that wider gap, looks like it won't fit, but actually this gasket pushes down and bends because of one of the pieces that has to go in between. So there you go, that's done. And then I just push my thumb onto it with the hole lined up and just kind of move it around. And just work it. Okay, that's done. Take this piece. This is the top part of the Cyclone where that HEPA filter goes in. Okay. That to the side. This is the bottom part of the Cyclone. You want to make sure that there are these notches here, and you want this seal, this notch with this kind of edge that's kind of protruding out. You want to make sure it seats in between the seal here, the gap. And for the orientation, you want this. Oh, there's one side that's closed and then the one side that's open. You want this side going down. Okay, that's done. You can see it's seated inside in between that notch that's sticking out. And then the plate is also lined up for the screw holes. Now one side is going to be closed, one side's open like this. Okay, so that's done. Now we're going to flip it over. So you have the narrow portion of the Cyclone facing up, and then you have this piece. Okay, and this goes in between. So what I like to do is go up against and in, and then those little nozzles should fit between all the holes. And it's going to be a little bit sticky because it is a tight fit, but you can see it's starting to click, and these pointy Cyclone pieces, the narrow portions, are going to go through the holes of that rubber gasket. Then you turn it over, and you want to make sure that that white seal is sealing this piece here. So you don't want any gaps in it because that's what's creating all the suction. The better the seal, the better the suction. Remember that. Okay, that's done. Now we have this piece. it's a star, and you've got even spaces here again, except for this portion, which indicates that it should be on the larger gap. Once you put the gasket in, you can actually do it without the gasket first, but it just fits like that. You want to make sure that you don't damage the gasket. Okay, that's sitting in there nicely. Now, what we want to do is take this piece, the top part of the Cyclone and the bottom, and work it in. Okay, and it'll just start to close. If you've done it right, it should close. Now we look at the screw holes inside. Now we kind of reverse engineer it, and we're going to start looking at those screws that go all the way in here. So there's 4 screws that go on the inside to hold this and basically collapse all of this together and hold it in place. There's one. There's 2. Can be a little bit tricky to get them down in there. I'm trying to do this with the camera, so I don't want to bury my head in the camera. There's 3. Okay, and that's 4. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 screws holding this to this. Now, this can still come out, and if you can see here, there's a screw hole lined up for this. Okay. Now we got the piece here, which is going to go up and over. Again, you can see the design. It's all even, and then you've got this large bend here. You can see that it also matches up. Goes up and over that. And then there's 5 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's easier because the screw holes are exposed. Be careful not to over tighten it because this is metal to plastic. You don't want to strip the screws. These products are not designed to be... Technically, these products are not designed to be opened. They're, in a sense, a consumable product. once they die, you're not supposed to be able to replace a battery or change out parts or clean it, because the companies want you to buy their product after it's, this has lasted the individual 5 years and it's still going, but when it craps out, they want you to buy a new one. Okay, so moving on. We got 2 screws here which hold the ends of the canister together. And those 2 screws are right here. They're T8. Okay. Now we've got that in. Screws are all in. We've got 4 screws remaining, which means that we've done the job correctly so far, because there's 4 screws remaining here for this. Now, before we get onto that, we're going to go ahead and put the mesh in. Remember, we use a pry tool for this, so it basically snaps into place. Again, you've got a notch here. You've got a little notch tab, or you've got a tab here, and you've got this push out tab here. So it's got to line up with that. It's flat, it's flat. Any other orientation would be wrong. You can hear the click. And just work it and push and work it and push. And what I do is I kind of massage it in and massage it in. Okay. Looking for any gaps, any spaces in between. Yeah, there's one there. Okay. Everything looks good. Again, it's going to go in easier than it came out because there's no dust, debris, dirt stuck in there, creating a bond and a seal. So if you want to remove this, it'd be much easier now. But again, this hasn't been serviced ever since it was bought brand new 5 years ago. And, it was long deserved for a clean and a service. What we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and put this piece on. Again, you can see the orientation. It's kind of raised, which means that side is going to turn around and go in and face the canister or the Cyclone collector. And then the seal just goes like that. Or sorry, you pass the seal. Okay, this is a T10 torque screw. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to swap out the battery. This one's already done. It's this one right here. Phillips screw right here, and on the back. We're going to put in a new battery. This one doesn't last long. Takes a Phillips screwdriver, 3 Phillips screws. The back screw is going to have a washer. It's the only one that's different from the other 2. You can see right there. and that one always goes in the back. Pull. Once you've unscrewed, battery to the side. Here's a new battery. Push it in. Washer screw in the back. Okay. Perfect. And this goes in between the rail. You can see the rails here, and then you can see the way it's cut out here. And this just goes in between. Easy peasy. Works. Okay. And then let's put the canister back on. Got a brand new filter. And there you have it. We disassembled, cleaned out, and reassembled the motor bar and the entire power head unit, or the motor head unit. And I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope this helped. Please leave a comment, a like, and a share. And I look forward to doing more videos and seeing you all out there. Thank you.